Let's examine a pattern I see consistently in capable, responsible adults. Externally stable, internally unsettled. They are productive. They manage responsibilities. They are often described as strong, dependable, or driven. Yet, privately, they report feeling flat, disconnected, or quietly dissatisfied. This pattern is often misinterpreted as laziness or lack of gratitude. From a psychological perspective, it is usually neither. What we're looking at is identity misalignment, and there is a structural reason for it. There is a predictable progression that leads to that state. High functioning adults typically highly adaptive. Adaptation becomes identity over time. Many learned early that reliability equals safety, competence equals approval, productivity equals belonging. These associations are reinforced repeatedly by family systems, education systems, and workplace environments. So the nervous system internalizes performance as protection. This is important. The nervous system is not malfunctioning. It is doing exactly what it was trained to do. The problem arises when performance continues long after protection is no longer required. This creates what we call functional freeze. Functional freeze does not look dramatic, it looks efficient. You are doing what needs to be done, but internally disengaged. That disengagement is not a discipline issue, it is a misalignment signal. This is where coaching moves beyond encouragement and into structured self awareness. Many high functioning adults build identity structure around output. The internal equation becomes if I produce, I am valuable. If I handle everything, I am secure. Over time, this becomes automatic. But here's what consistently happens. When identity is built on doing, rest feels unsafe, stillness feels unproductive, and fulfillment becomes conditional. You may achieve goals, but satisfaction is short lived because the identity is wired for the next target. This is not ambition alone, this is reinforcement conditioning. And reinforcement conditioning is powerful. If approval followed performance for years, the brain will continue to chase performance, even when fulfillment is missing. What most people label as stuck is often an identity recalibration phase. Let's bring in physiology. When someone has operated in responsibility mode for years, stress becomes baseline. Baseline stress does not always feel dramatic. It can feel like subtle irritability, emotional numbness, low grade fatigue, lack of excitement. This is what happens when the nervous system remains in mild activation for prolonged periods. You are not collapsing, but you are not restoring neither. And without restoration, engagement declines. That is why many high functioning adults say, I don't feel sad. I just don't feel much. That flattening is not a personality flaw. It is a nervous system response to prolonged output without integration. Integration means processing emotions, updating identity, allowing change. Without integration, productivity continues, but meaning declines. Growth activates uncertainty, and uncertainty activates the nervous system's threat response. Now, we address the deeper mechanism. You may have outgrown the identity that built your stability, the strong one, the independent one, the achiever. These identities were adaptive, but identity stability resists expansion. This is a natural psychological process. When internal values shift toward meaning, depth, autonomy, but external structure remains unchanged, tension develops. That tension feels like stuckness, but structurally it's transition. The discomfort is not evidence of failure. It is evidence of evolution. And evolution requires restructuring, not more effort, restructuring. These patterns develops because identity seeks stability even when growth requires expansion. When capable individuals feel misaligned, their instinct is to increase effort, more discipline, more goals, more optimization. But misalignment cannot be corrected without intensity. It must be corrected with recalibration. Recalibration involves three things: clarifying updated values, identifying outdated roles, regulating the fear attached to change. This is where coaching becomes structurally useful. Not because advice is given, but because patterns are named. And once pattern is named, it can be adjusted. I leave you with a structured reflection. Ask yourself, where am I maintaining competence at the cost of fulfillment? What part of my identity feels familiar but outdated? If I stopped performing for approval, what I would require adjustment? Take those questions seriously. They reveal more than motivation strategies ever will. High functioning does not automatically mean aligned. Capability does not guarantee fulfillment, and discipline does not replace identity clarity. If you feel stuck, examine structure before effort. Most often, what needs updating is not your work ethic, it's your identity. This is Unearthly Life Expert Series. I am Lovely, your life and intuitive coach. See you on our next episode. You are always welcome here.